Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Probably Fixed It. And this is going to be a part of the Two-Stroke Tuesday series. I'm so excited to try to start working on this one here. Well, that was interesting. I'm excited about working on this one here. So that's going to be coming up in future episodes. So if you want to see if that old Montgomery Ward mower, and we'll dig into it, gets up and running, like and subscribe, and we'll see that one coming up. But for today, what we have is this old Echo PB2100, and we're going to see if we can get it up and running. This is a buddy of mine that works. It hadn't run in a long time, so look at that carb. It's all gunked up. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing apart and see if we can get her running. Let's see if it even kicks over. Oh yeah, it pulls over, so that's good. So let's start tearing into this thing. It's got no fuel in it, so that's one thing we don't have to deal with. Now we'll start getting this off right here. Take a look at that air filter together. Well, I think what we're gonna do, one thing we'll do, I got some two-stroke gas. We'll just shoot some gas down the yap there and see if we get her to pop off. I always kind of like to do that just to see, I don't know, more out of curiosity than anything, but if I can get them to pop off, no, but this carburetor looks rough, but. All right, let's see what we got. We're gonna put this on the floor. Got a little two-stroke mix here. Let's see if we can get some of that down in the yap. It happens to pop off. Hey, I think this is gonna run. That's crazy. That's kind of impressive, to be quite honest with you. Well, for sure, this bulb here is crushed. Oh, see that? I hope y'all didn't miss that, but I just pushed on that bulb and it just disintegrated. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this carb out, clean this up a little bit down in here, and probably replace these lines. So let's go ahead and get this thing taken apart. And if I have a plug, we will replace this spark plug, this as well. Get that, look at that, this is nasty. Looks like we need a Phillips head screwdriver here. Take these two screws out to get that carburetor, start getting that carburetor off. And I always like to have me a little container or something to throw my fasteners in, because I like to lose stuff. Breaking out the good screwdriver. Pull these screws out here. You see it holds that little plate right there as well. Got that in my bucket. Tap it with my hammer. Anything's a hammer if you want it to be. All right, just disconnected my throttle. Take note of which hose goes where. These are hard as a rock, but this one goes to that. This orphet, the outlet or nipple that's closest to the air cleaner, and this black one is going to go to the one farthest away. That's it. That's the carburetor right there. Let's go ahead and get this carburetor up on our stand or up on the table, and we'll start taking this apart and see what she looks like, and then we'll throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner. All right, I got me a new bucket to put my carburetor parts on. Usually I like to put a little towel down so you can see what's going on. There we go. Go ahead and take this apart right here. Just note this hole is towards the red part on here. That's for me and you to remember. A little screwdriver or something to pry. There we go. That came right off. Let's see if we got any. It's got a little flex to it. Oh no, she's cracked. She cracked on me. Well, that's not very good. Now I got to order. Definitely got to order a gasket kit for this. That's unfortunate. I was hoping to have this done today. And this right here is where your primer bulb was. Get a little gasket out here. These little things here act as little flat. They're actually in pretty good shape. Gasket. So remember this gasket goes on the metal, and this one is on top of that, so they kind of go on like that. So now we got to get this off. Everything is kind of smushed up in here, like, there we go. A little bit of pry there. This is for your primer bulb, and we'll have to get all this stuff out of here for sure. All right, we got the big stuff off of this area here on the 2-stroke carburetor. This is the little, this piece right here, I mean, kind of acts like the float does, a little lever on the float. Let me see if I can move the camera a little closer. And then right here, there's a little spring right here. Let's see, get you. Little spring right here. I'll take that out. And right here is your needle, like on your carburetor, on your regular carburetor, right there. See how that? And it just does the same thing. It's going to sit in there and do the same thing that a needle and seat does, like on your regular 2-stroke or 4-stroke motors. It shuts off the flow of fuel. I'll just go ahead and leave this in there a little bit loose so I don't forget where it goes. That's really all there is to it. I'm not going to take all these out, all these settings, but I am going to hit this with a little carb cleaner just to kind of clean it up a little bit to get some of this stuff off to keep my inside of my ultrasonic cleaner clean. And also, I got my little baskets here. I got this little basket here. They're basically, I think, for cleaning jewelry, but I can put these tiny little pieces in here. Tiny little pieces. Oh, almost lost it. I'll throw these screws in there. Why not? We got that in there. It's ready to drop in. Well, not really. Make sure you close this right. This has got to slide over both halves. That's what keeps it shut. All right, so that's good. Just gonna hit this with a little bit of carb cleaner. I just hit that a little bit to get some of the gunk off of it. This is a, you can barely see it, but that's what I wanted to do. This is a Zama carburetor. So I'm gonna get the rebuild kit for a Zama 2-stroke carburetor so we can rebuild it. I'm gonna get that ordered. Hopefully it'll be here tomorrow so I can get this video finished tomorrow evening and edited tomorrow evening and then ready to drop Tuesday afternoon, so you can have 2-stroke Tuesday. I can't miss my second production for 2-stroke Tuesday. All right, we're going to drop this into the tank. It said 15-liter Vevor ultrasonic cleaner. Let it do its thing for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna go order a rebuild kit while that's cooking. I like to let this get up to 80. I have it set for 80. It's at 43 right now, degrees Celsius, so it'll creep up there while it's cooking. Now I use full wave because I don't know what the right one to use is. Full wave seems better than semi-wave, but you guys let me know. All right, so the plan was to rebuild this Zama carburetor, and these are two of my old parts here that I was able to find. My carburetor rebuild kit is supposed to come with all the gaskets to rebuild this, and it came with 1, 2, 3 of those. So that's not great, but I did order another carburetor just in case I wasn't successful with the rebuild on this. So we're going to jump straight to getting that carburetor installed. Well, that's kind of unfortunate. I think I could probably get away with it, except for I'm missing the gasket that goes above this. There was one on there, so that's unfortunate. Alrighty, so let me go see if I can find where that carburetor is. I think it's in the house still. Go grab it. I really like to rebuild the originals when I can. However, I have had pretty good luck with this brand right here. It's HIPA. I've had pretty good luck with these. We'll tear into this. But one thing I wanted to mention is what happens with these carburetors a lot of times is this acts like a little pump. And that's what actuates that little spring in there that works your jet. So these will they'll lose all their pliability over time, and that's usually what causes your problem. So I'm gonna keep these around. Maybe I'll be able to save a couple of carburetors by just switching those out in the future. But I'm a little disappointed that either I didn't get the right part number or, well. But let's tear into this box here and see what's all included in this thing. Nice little kit here. Looks like it's got a new filter for me. Some base gaskets. Oh, good. Sometimes these are, this right here is my original one. Sometimes these are facing the wrong way on certain carburetors. It's got a new bulb. It's got a good set of new hoses and stuff, so we'll use all that. New spark plug. And a couple of extra items as well. Let's see, we'll just dump it right out there. It's got a couple extra of these, which I'll put these in my stash. A filter. So I think we're going to be good to go. And this piece, if we needed to use it for something. All right, well, let's go ahead and get reestablished over here by the actual blower and start putting this carburetor on. First things first, we got to get this installed. I just wanted to get a little better view of this. I want to try something fun here. This is just some two-stroke gas, no carburetor, but it's your intake manifold. See if I can get a little splash in there. I did a splash in there. Got her on. We're just gonna see if she pops off. That's kind of neat. I'm gonna get this cleaned up here with some carb cleaner before we put everything back on. So that metal piece connects this to this, and then your filter goes on this little piece here, and it's going to go down in this hole, just like so. And that's kind of how that's going to go. This is the filter here, and these two hoses will get connected here and there. Let me get this in. It may take a little bit of fixing and fussing, but they do go in. Sometimes I say some choice words, so I will save y'all that and just get this thing installed in that hole. Sometimes I put some lube on it, maybe use a screwdriver. Sometimes I get lucky and I can twist it in there pretty good. So we'll just see how it goes, but I'm gonna get that in real quick. I think we're ready to put this back together. Go there, and remember the way these lines are. Generally speaking, you saw the black one was the one with the filter on, so that's one of your fuels coming through. So that's going to go further away from your primer bulb because the fuel gets sucked into the carburetor and then comes out that way through this one back into the return, and that's how that works. So I just stuck this, right now we just got the throttle, which is right here. It's going to go through just like that. And you can kind of see how this is going to function a little bit. I kind of got everything placed in there. The carburetor's in there. One thing I like to do is I like to make sure my throttle functions like it should before I get too far involved. And that's where your throttle is hooked up down there. And you can see how it functions there. So, and this is your high idle adjustment and your low idle adjustment right there. And we'll see how those, if those need any adjustments once we get fuel going in here. And we're also going to check the flow, make sure I got that primer bulb hooked up right. So I just need to tighten these screws up real quick, and we'll put some fuel in there, test the flow, and then before we fire it up, before we put everything on, we'll fire it up. We're going to go ahead and remove this spark plug and go ahead and replace it with this new one it came with. That loose. How old do you think this thing is? Just kind of curious. I have to look it up. Why don't y'all comment if y'all happen to know off the top of y'all's head. I'd say it's about due. This little one comes in the kit. What do you think? Spark plugs are spark plugs? I don't know. I'm gonna put a little anti-seize on that because that's what I like to do. All right, got a little anti-seize on there. A little bit goes a long way. Get that started. All right, that's good there. Got that installed. Just now to get a little fuel in there. Let's go find our two-stroke stuff. Gotta love these environmentally friendly jugs. They work great if you have like all our arthritic hands. There should be enough. All right, we're gonna pump this bulb right here. See if we start getting some fuel coming out. Just gotta get the air out of the carb first. Oh, there we go, look at that. All right, and the fuel should be coming in this black one through the filter. It should be shooting out that yellow one. And I don't know if you can see in there, I kind of set it up in there. And you can see it, but still got some air in it, but the fuel's definitely coming out the right hose. All right, well, this thing should be ready to fire up. Let's put this gas cap on. Got the choke on, that's off. Let's see if she'll start. Oh, first pull. Let's take the choke off. Nice. All right, she stops. See if she start back up. Nice. We may give it a couple of adjustments here. I'm gonna put the air filter on and maybe fiddle with some of the tuning, fine tuning here. But she runs pretty good. We're gonna see if once she warms up a little bit, she comes around a little better. But I think she's fine probably how she is. I'm gonna go ahead and install this filter. Hey, that little kit, I mean, I put that carburetor on pretty much right out of the box. I hadn't tuned it at all, and it probably doesn't even need to be tuned. And it came with the air filter, it came with everything you need. Fresh hoses, new fuel filter, spark plug. It's a good little tune-up kit. I'll leave the part number in the description just in case you happen to have one of these old PB2100 Echo blowers. They use that Zama carburetor, I think that's what it's called. They're common in a lot of these two-stroke motors. Anyhow, let's get this thing fired up. Let her idle for a little while. I'll do that off camera, but if she needs tuning, I'll definitely let you guys know, and I'll show you how I tune it. But I'm kind of curious to see this thing run straight out of the box. Hey guys, thanks for joining me again on Probably Fixed It in this episode of Two-Stroke Tuesdays. We took a buddy from work's old two-stroke blower. I think it dates back to the early 2000s. It's probably 20 plus years old for sure, but it's a PB2100, and we use this little HIPAA carburetor tune-up kit. Came with a spark plug, air filter, a couple extra primer bulbs if we need them. Spark plug, I don't remember if I said that or not. Anyway, I'll leave this kit in the description. I did absolutely zero tuning to this carburetor, and she runs like a champ. We'll see if we can get her to fire up on one pole here. So she starts right up. She comes, starts right up. She goes right to full throttle without any bogging or hesitation. I don't think the mutt here likes it too much, these blowers, but he likes to hang out in the shop with me. Anyhow, if you like seeing these videos, I do appreciate your subscriptions and your time. I highly recommend these Hyper products. I've used them before and I've been pretty successful with them. I always default to trying to reuse the original ones, but in this instance the rebuild kit I got didn't have all the gaskets that I needed, and I wasn't careful enough when I took the other one apart to salvage all the gaskets. Sometimes I'll salvage the gaskets if I can, but I plan on getting a rebuild kit. It just didn't work out for me this time. But that $19 I think is what this cost. So 19 bucks, you really don't need a lot of skill to get it done. Anybody could do it since you don't have to tune the carb. Just follow the instructions, put a little lube on your little plug for dropping your lines into your tank, and try to keep the cuss words to a minimum, getting that plug in there. Just use your little screwdriver and twist, and it'll get in there eventually. It's just kind of not the funnest thing. If you want to risk it, you could take a little step drill bit and maybe make it a little bit bigger for you. But anyhow, once again, thanks for joining me on Probably Fixed It on this episode of Two Stroke Tuesday. And I still have that Montgomery Ward 7.5 horsepower two-stroke outboard I really want to get working on, but I wanted to get this one ready for my buddy. And I actually have another blower that I need to get ready for my father-in-law, but we'll see what's next. So subscribe, join, hit that button, and see you then. Thanks a lot, guys. Come on, boy.